Welcome back to World of Warships with your host, X-Brad TC. Bit of a frustrating match today. Went out in the mighty Tier 3 U.S. destroyer, the Wickes, and had a pretty good game. We're on the New Dawn map, always one of my favorites, and I usually try to grab either the A or the C. If I'm based in the north, I go for A. If I'm based in the south, I go for C. Try and quickly grab a capture point and start getting points on the board. The Wickes is pretty good for this. I was a little surprised with 4 destroyers on the enemy team. Nobody came to contest the A point. I was very surprised by that. All the enemy, in fact, I don't think I actually saw an enemy destroyer the entire match. They apparently were all on the eastern half of the map. What I do spot is a battleship over there, and he's quite a ways away, so I'm just going to tootle around, secure the cap. There's another battleship. Still no threat. Trying to get some points on the board. We're almost there. Just about. Still well outside detection distance. In fact, still out of gun range. And there's the capture point. Now, don't really feel like taking on a battleship all by myself, so I kind of tootle around and go around the back side of the capture point, hoping to let the situation develop a little bit. And I decide this battleship is kind of isolated. He's kind of by himself. I've detected a little while by airplanes here, but he's going to go away. I've got a 5-kilometer range on my torpedoes. He's coming towards me. I am driving towards him at full speed. I'm no longer detected. Somebody else is engaging him to keep him occupied, keep his turrets pointed away from me. So I'm essentially bow onto him. I'm essentially invulnerable. And I come around the point, and things go a little bit pear-shaped. A Phoenix. The Tier 4 U.S. cruiser, the Phoenix, is just tailor-made for taking out destroyers like mine. So since I'm detected, no sense holding fire, put a couple of rounds into them, start taking a little bit of return fire, get some hits. Notice the battleship and the Phoenix now have me sandwiched. Well, in this case, that's going to work out well for me. The Wickes has torpedo tubes on each side. Put torps out on the battleship, and turn, and very quickly get torps out on the Phoenix. I am astonished here that the Phoenix didn't launch his torpedoes at me. And there's one, and there's two. Devastating strike. Killed them both. Now all I have to do is dodge the friendly torpedoes that are coming in, and that should be pretty easy. Both of those ships were just about on full health when I took them out. Paid a pretty good price for it, about half my health, and I think most of that came from the Phoenix gunning me. But still, it was worth it. 2 cruisers for half a destroyer, I'll take it. As I wrote into the chat session, I was pretty proud of that. Taking a look ahead, there is another battleship. I do believe that's a Wyoming. And he's kind of in a bad spot. He's apparently been run aground, and he's trying to back down away from there. His rear turrets are pointed directly at me, but I have such a small profile, I'm very hard to hit. And oh look, my torpedo tubes are reloaded. He's already on low health. Hopefully I can get the torps off before his guns are reloaded. Here we go. One salvo and another. It's only going to take one. Nice. 2 battleships and a cruiser. So far, that's a pretty good outing. Unfortunately, our carrier wasn't doing as, or carriers weren't doing as well as the enemy carriers. And as I was driving along, I noticed those torpedo bombers, which gave me a good idea where the carriers were. And I was going to try the same trick. Run them down, torpedo them at point blank range. Try and set the flight decks on fire with HE gun shells. But unfortunately, And I'm actually holding fire because I don't want them to go running off just yet. This carrier that I'm targeting is still stationary. The other carrier, they're both Langleys, he has just started to motor away. Unfortunately, I'm going to get detected here, and there is a cruiser coming up alongside me, and he is going to be the target for a torpedo attack, which unfortunately I get caught up in, and I am going to get sunk. Just about made it. Unfortunately, if I had not slowed down, I probably could have made that and dodged that, but I probably would have been hit by the dive bombers. And unfortunately, our team, now down to 3 ships, is going to lose this battle. Very frustrating. You go out, you do a good job, you sink 3 ships, 2 battleships, a cruiser, you spot the enemy carriers for your team. But just like that, the tides have turned. Still, the Wickes, good destroyer, 4 4-inch guns. You can get up to 3 tubes pointed at a target at any one time. It's got 4 sets of torpedoes, 2 on each side, with a relatively fast reload time. Unfortunately, having been sunk, I still have not got my first win of the day in the Wickes. So I have got some unclaimed captain's experience out there that we'll have to go out here in a minute and try and collect. Farewell, faithful ship, you served us well. And we're down to 2 ships now. This is not going to take long to lose. Yeah, the enemy carriers were fairly competently handled, and I think they were probably the deciding factor in this match. So let's take a look at the scoreboard. 168,000 credits, 1,400 XP, 71 free XP, first blood, devastating strike, 10 gun hits, 9 torpedo hits, 3 incapacitations, 3 sinkings, and a couple other things. Defended the base. Not surprisingly, top of the team. Unfortunately, if I'm at the top of your team, you're doing it wrong. And not bad. 56,000 damage. Not bad for getting sunk halfway through. We'll catch you later.